You were told that hard work builds wealth, that persistence guarantees progress, that if you keep your head down, follow the process, and stay disciplined, you will rise. But in today's system, effort is not a currency. It is a commodity, bought, scaled, and automated by those who understand leverage. You work harder. They own the mechanism that turns your work into yield. That is not injustice. It is design. Every empire, from the industrial age to Silicon Valley, was built on the illusion that diligence equals destiny. But if that were true, the hardest workers would be the richest, and they aren't. Most people still operate on an obsolete formula. Work equals value. Value equals reward. It once worked in a world where output was physical, measurable, and scarce. A blacksmith forged iron. A farmer grew wheat. A typist produced words. Effort directly linked to production. But as economies digitized, effort detached from output. Automation replaced repetition. Algorithms optimized efficiency. And now, value flows not to those who do the work, but to those who own the systems through which work flows. Yet millions still cling to a 20th century myth, the idea that endurance itself guarantees stability. They stay longer at the office. They take pride in exhaustion. They confuse visible effort with strategic position. Look at the modern corporate worker. He believes loyalty secures advancement. He attends grind culture seminars. He networks endlessly. He optimizes his resume. But the hierarchy he operates in was never designed to reward loyalty. It was designed to reward control. Amazon warehouse employees scan 400 items per hour. Their efficiency is tracked by software more precisely than any supervisor could manage. Each movement, each pause becomes data. That data improves systems, and that system enriches the owners, not the operators. The harder the worker pushes, the stronger the system becomes, not the individual. It's the paradox of modern productivity. You feed the machine by trying to outwork it. To understand the modern game of wealth, you must strip away sentiment. The financial corporate system rewards asymmetry, situations where one party gains more leverage than they exert effort. Let's break that down. Corporations no longer trade time for money. They trade attention, data, and scalability. Their profit doesn't depend on how many hours they work, but how many systems they can command. Amazon's logistics empire, Apple's ecosystem, Google's ad algorithm, all are forms of asymmetrical leverage. Each converts millions of hours of other people's time, labor, search queries, scrolls, into their own profit streams. Meanwhile, most people still operate linearly. They're thinking input equals output. But the new economy is exponential. Small nodes of control create infinite replication of value. Example: a YouTuber builds one video that earns ad revenue forever. A developer writes one code library used by thousands of startups. An investor holds a position that earns while he sleeps. These are not acts of hard work. They are acts of architecture. That's the core of the system. Power now lies not in production, but in design. Not in doing, but in directing. And the system is not malicious, it is indifferent. It rewards awareness, not effort. It rewards control, not contribution. Wall Street, for instance, thrives on this indifference. Traders no longer read market fundamentals, algorithms do. The system extracts profit from fluctuations themselves, regardless of direction. Money no longer needs meaning, it just needs movement. In this design, the labor class becomes the liquidity. Their time, data, and consumption are the flow that keeps the machine alive. And the illusion of progress, the promotion, the raise, the growth plan, keeps the flow continuous. That is why the system must keep you working harder. Because belief is the lubricant of hierarchy. To survive this landscape, you must reframe your role. Stop thinking like an employee. Start thinking like an engineer of value flow. Ask not, how can I earn more? But, where does value originate and where does it accumulate? Every transaction, every social interaction, every algorithmic feed is a stream. Some people swim in it. A few redirect it. The post-Stoic Machiavellian principle here is emotional neutrality. You must see systems as they are, not as they should be. Machiavelli taught rulers to separate morality from mechanics. In modern terms, that means separating effort from worth. Effort is noble, but nobility does not pay dividends. In corporate hierarchies, the winners are those who design the narrative others believe. The illusion of progress motivates performance. The strategist controls the illusion. Every company culture, from Silicon Valley's move fast and break things to finance's hustle harder, is psychological architecture. It's built to keep lower tiers emotionally invested, while upper tiers remain strategically detached. You cannot rebel against this system by emotion. You outgrow it by comprehension. The Machiavellian strategist studies incentives. He learns why people act, not what they say. He designs leverage instead of seeking fairness. Practical translation: don't chase higher pay, chase higher asymmetry. Build systems that earn when you don't. Acquire skills that scale across platforms. Design processes others depend on. A developer with a useful automation tool controls more leverage than a diligent manager. A creator with an audience controls more influence than a department head. A strategist with data controls more wealth than a worker with discipline. It's not about cynicism, it's about alignment. You align yourself with reality, not morality, not motivation, but mechanics. The system respects mechanics. The question is not how to become more productive. The question is how to become less necessary. Work was once sacred. Now, it is symbolic. It represents participation, not necessarily progress. The illusion of hard work survives because it comforts the powerless. It gives meaning to struggle, even when the outcome is predetermined. But awareness is the new sacred act. Seeing the architecture behind the illusion, that is freedom. This does not mean you stop working. It means you stop believing that work alone delivers control. You start designing leverage in assets, networks, skills, or systems. You treat your energy as capital, not currency. Every day, you invest or you expend. Most people expend. They burn time for income. The strategist invests. He uses time to build structures that operate independently. The corporate world rewards quiet mastery. Those who speak too loudly about effort are usually the ones being optimized by someone else's system. Those who move silently, studying flow, adjusting variables, observing without reaction, they become architects. In this era, control is subtle. It's embedded in code, policy, perception, and data ownership. You will never see it if you're focused on output alone. So step back, study the machine, understand where effort becomes obsolete. Then position yourself there, at the intersection where systems depend on you, but you no longer depend on systems. That is where power begins, not in hard work, but in the mastery of structure. Because in today's world, you are not paid for what you do, you are paid for what you understand.